guys, and welcome to Shelly's Homemade. This is Shelly, and today we are going to be making apple pie, guys. Apple pie from scratch. I would normally use my food processor, but I had a request from a dear friend of mine asking me to making the pie crust without the food processor, something you have in your house, where I'm going to be using this. It's a pastry cutter. You can actually purchase this at Walmart, Michael's, Joanne Fabrics, whatever store sells baking goods or whatever. You also can use two knives to do this, because this is just sharp knives. You can use two knives or a fork, but I'm going to use my pastry cutter today. I have my bowl that I'm going to be making it in. I have 2 cups of flour, a fourth of a cup of sugar, a fourth of a cup of ice cold water, a teaspoon of salt, and this is how I usually make my pie crust when I make apple pie. I use 1 stick of margarine and 1 stick of butter, guys. So this is how I'm going to make it today, okay? And make sure that your butter is not room temperature, that it is cold, just like your ice, your flour, sugar, everything. Just pop it in the fridge or the freezer for a little while. Just let it get cold. 15-20 minutes should do the trick. And you can do that while you're preparing everything else. You can just get it into the freezer or the refrigerator, whichever one has enough room for you guys. So I'm gonna start with the pie crust, and then I'm gonna move on to making the filling for the apple pie. So now, first thing we're gonna do is move all of this stuff. Now, I normally just leave this in the freezer until I'm getting ready to use it, and I'm getting ready now, so why not? So what we're gonna do first is to let's get all of this flour out, because it was measured to what I need it to be. Let's get our sugar in and our salt. Right now we're gonna take a knife and cube. Now, I normally do this first, but since I'm filming, I'm just gonna do it in front of you guys so you can see how it's done. Just right into the pack. Give it a little force, not too much where you cut your hand. And you just cube it right on in to the flour. Alright, guys, just like so. You can cut it smaller like that. That would probably be best for newcomers, but I've been making this a long time, so try not to cut yourself. And with my margarine, I'm going to cut into this. And actually, what happened, why I'm actually using margarine, 1 stick of margarine, 1 stick of butter, I had needed 2 sticks of butter, and I didn't have but 1 and 1, and I ended up using 1 stick of margarine, 1 stick of butter, and I liked how flaky my crust was, so I've been using it this way for some time now. The margarine and the butter, just like so. Let me get rid of this. Don't need that. So now, take my pastry cutter and just cut it through, just like so. You can see inside of my bowl, hopefully. And you just cut it in, twist as you're cutting, twist as you're cutting, twist as you're cutting. And you want to get it so you can see like peas, like the size of like little peas or lentils, something really small. And you want to get it in there, just like so. And you just keep on twisting. You just keep on twisting, and just like that. Get it in there. Get it all cut up until you don't see the butter anymore, guys. I'll be right back. Sorry, guys, I'm back, and we're still cutting into my pastry. I had a phone call with my daughter asking to look for something for her. So we're almost there. And we got our salt in here. We got our sugar in here. It was 1/4 of a cup of sugar. If I did not tell you guys, a teaspoon of salt and 1/4 of a cup of water, 2 cups of flour, 1 stick of butter, and 1 stick of margarine. All right, let's get this. Here. So this is what you want. This is the consistency that you want, guys. What you want. So now, get my water. I'm gonna put a little bit in. To actually form a dough. You know, when you're using to make a dough, it always depends on the temperature in your house, how your pastry is going to turn out. You never know. Whether you need more than this little bit of water, or you need some more. But remember, we don't want to work the dough too much. So before I put the water in there, I added all the ingredients. Everything. Now, time to get your good old fingers in here and take my wedding rings off. And yep, I'm forming a ball. It's coming together, just like so. On my pie crust, on my dough. And you can see all of that butter in there, and that margarine. So I want to make 2 discs, one for the top and one for the bottom. I guess it's good to be able to do this by hand too as well, and that way you ain't got to worry about all of that noise from the food processor. But I'm gonna put it all together just like this, form my ball. Get my Ziploc bag, as you remember from the sweet potato pie video, instead of using one of those wrap or plastic wrap or whatever you have. Just take a Ziploc bag. You ain't got to worry with that pesky thing trying to get it off and all of that stuff. So I'm just forming this ball because, again, we don't want to overwork it. So I'm just forming my ball, not kneading it too much. I think I probably just need to put a little more water in here. And all of my ingredients is always in the description section. So if you want to need to see ingredients from any video, it's in there. And let me know how you guys make a pie crust. You go to the store and just buy one. So since I'm only making one pie, I just go ahead and get it. But I don't actually go out and, well, I do go buy it one like Thanksgiving and Christmas and stuff like that. I go out and purchase the pie crust, because this is trying to do this be time consuming, and you be having stuff to do. Spend $2 and some cents on a pie crust, and there's 2 of them that come in the pack. You ain't even gotta worry about it. Just put it in there. I mean, I know that fresh is best, but sometimes you don't be having the time. And get that in there. Flatten it out into a round circle. And we're going to put this away. Put this away, and then when we come back, guys, we're going to roll this puppy out, get it into our pan, get it back in the refrigerator. Well, no, we're going to make our filling. And then we're going to roll this out and get it back into the refrigerator. And then fill this pie crust. And get everything going. Alright? So I'll be back once she's chilled out. And it's time to make my filling. Alright guys, I'm back. So I can show you how to do these fillings. I have peeled most of my apples. I'm just going to show you 2 because I'm using 2 different kinds of apples. I'm using 7 Granny Smith and 2 Gala apples. So, and see, I cut this lemon in half because I'm gonna use half of this in our filling, and then the other half I squeezed it into the water so my apples wouldn't turn brown, and I cut them in half. I cut them in wedges and stuck them all throughout, so that way my apples won't turn brown and they maintain their texture. Alright, so first thing we're going to do, we're going to peel our apples. So I have my peeler, and I'm just going around on this peeler, and I'm going to peel my apples. Just like so. So I'm just going to show you guys 2 because I didn't want to bore you to death with actually showing you more than 2. When I make my apple pie, these are one of my favorite pies to make. It's fun, and it's a quick and easy dish. So guys, I am cutting down, and then I'm actually coring this apple this way. I don't have an apple corer. That's fine. If you don't have one, if you do, use it. If you don't, you can do what I'm doing, or whatever special way that you guys like to remove the core. So then I'm going to slice it down like this, and then I'm getting my filling into, I don't have enough room on my counter, so I'm just going to set this on my stove. So I'm getting this cut down, guys. I'm cutting it down, and yes, getting this in, and I'm just cutting them into 4s and getting them into my bowl immediately, like, so that it doesn't turn brown. So I'm getting it right into the water immediately. Now, and this is my green one. So I'm using 9 apples total, and the reason I'm using 9 apples is because my Granny Smiths are kind of small, and I want to make sure that I have enough filling for my pie shell and my pie dish. So I'm going to cut down. I'm going to cut it in half. So let's cut both of them in half. Cut them both in half. And then right on an angle, See how that is right on the angle? I'm gonna go in, and then I'm gonna slice it. Then you're left with this part of the core. Same thing, in, cut out. Get in and cut out. In and cut out. Just like so. Then we just slice it. And these are going to be into 3s instead of 4s. Here, well, this one might be a 4. Okay. Again, same thing. 2. And that. Well, now we have 4. Alright. Move this. Out of the way. Now, showing you my apples. Just like that. And there. So let's remove my lemon wedges. Remove any seeds that's in here. How about we do this? I'm going to take a piece of paper towel and I'm going to set my apples on. That way, any seeds or whatever is that's floated to the bottom, I can just get them. And since they've been soaking in lemon water, they're not going to turn brown. Just a little bit of time that I am getting my apples out of the water. And it is a lot of seeds actually at the bottom, so I'm glad that I'm doing this part. And we're going to use the same bowl to make the filling. And again, then I'm draining all of this excess water and lemon juice from my apples. See, look at that. All of those seeds at the bottom. Let's just get rid of that. Alright, now let's get our apples back in my bowl, just like so. So have any of you guys actually ever made an apple pie? If so, have you seen it made the way that I'm showing you guys how to make it, you know, Shelly's way? If so, if not, that's fine too. My counter is impeccably clean. My hands is impeccably clean. Before you cook anything, guys, always make sure that you wash your hands. Alright, so now I have these seeds, so I am going to squeeze cup side up all the way around because we don't want the seeds and our filling. Now let's add our sugar, and we're going to sprinkle it all over so that way when I'm stirring it's already evenly distributed. And this is a half a cup of sugar, guys, and half a cup of sugar. My flour, this is a tablespoon of flour. These are the measurements that I use every time I make an apple pie. This is a half a teaspoon of nutmeg. I don't know if you guys can see. Hold on, let me move my bowl. Of nutmeg. This is a tablespoon of cinnamon. Vanilla. This is a tablespoon and a half of vanilla. And we must not, cannot forget the salt. This is how much salt. This is like a half a teaspoon of salt. Salt brings the flavor out in the apples, gives it everything you need. I have my spatula here, guys, and we are going to just mix our pie. Feeling around, and it looks dry, but the apples, the sugar, the flour, the vanilla, cinnamon, the nutmeg, the lemon juice, all of that, guys, is going to release the juices and give you that apple pie. As it cooks in the oven, it's going to release all of its juices. The flour helps it thicken up. I know some people use cornstarch, but I'm using all-purpose flour, guys. This pie bakes for an hour and 25 minutes. So now we're gonna preheat our oven to 350. And now that that's preheated, we're gonna set this and put it in the refrigerator, let it rest. And you let pastry rest, you let any type of filling that you're going to put in here, you're going to let it rest, because when you mess with it, it doesn't give you that effect that you want. So I got my filling, and like I said, it was 9 apples total. But if you use larger apples, you probably use 6 or 7, but I'm using 9 total, and this is what I need for my filling. Alright, so I'll be back so we can roll out our pastry. Okay guys, I'm back with my rolling pin, my dough, alright, it has been resting for 45 minutes, and I am going to cut this in half, the top and the bottom. Yeah. I'm gonna move this to the side. We're going to form this into a disc again. And I already floured my pad. You don't have this on the counter, the table, whatever, it's fine. Now, I have my rolling pin. And if it starts coming up, it's okay. Just patch it. Remember to turn your pastry. I don't think I actually floured my pen enough. Alright, so let's flip it. See, when it comes apart like that, guys, just take it, patch it, and it'll be fine. Sometimes I say store-bought is so much better. You don't have to deal with this. This is a thinner pie crust because it's thinner than I usually make. as far as I think I can roll this thing out. But it will be fine. It looks a mess, but trust me, it will be fine. It'll be a beautiful pie crust. Alright, let's get my pie shell. I'll be right my pie plate. I'll be right back. So I am back with my pie plate. Alright, so let's get this in my pan. And like I said, you can always patch it to fit however you want it to once you roll it up. Alright. Just get it in there. I usually roll out a thicker one, but it's alright. Just get it in there and push it in and take your finger and patch it up. And then patch it up. Smooth the sides. And you just put it right back in the refrigerator to rest. Just like so. I'll be telling you it's going to be a delicious, perfect pie crust when I'm done. So what happened was I didn't take enough of the filling, and when I rolled it, and then I rolled it too thin. So, I mean, but it's enough to fit in here and be a great pie crust when I'm done. A rainy day, perfect day for an apple pie. Alright. Well, in there, and I'm telling you, when I'm done, it's going to be really beautiful. It's going to be a really beautiful pie crust. It's already looking like something now. So that is the pie crust in there. So what we're gonna do, and when we're done with my pie together, you're gonna see just how beautiful this pie crust is gonna be. All right, guys. All right. So I'll be right back. Show you what to do next, because I'm gonna let this pie crust rest. Okay, guys, I'm back. The bottom pie crust is just resting in the refrigerator. So I have the top pie crust that we're going to put on top. I'm going to form this into a ball. This definitely needs to be round. Don't forget, make sure that I rub this out. Just turn. I guess for me, because it was going to be on the bottom, I should have took more care of my pie crust. The last one, it's okay. Let's flip this bad boy. Turning out better already. So you let that rest for 5 to 10 minutes. in there. And look, turning out great already. Better pie crust. We're gonna rub this bad boy with some egg and cinnamon and sugar for the top. We're gonna put some slits in it. Alright, so that's all done. Easy to lift. So apparently I did a better job with this, with the top half, huh? Alright, so that is all balled up, ready to go. My oven is ready to go because it's making noise saying come on, do me, put something in me. So let's get that done and I'll be right back. So I am back and we are going to fill this puppy with all this goodness that we got going on right here. Look at that. This is how you fill an apple pie, honey. Take your spatula, your spatula, get it in here, rub the spatula, get all that goodness under there, inside of there, just like so. And take our top. And we just take this part, it's going around off, because we need that. We need all of this out of this. Like I said, something is broke, feel free to patch it. Alright, so now take this just like so on here, get our dividends. Just like that. See? Starting to look wonderful. And we're going to do this all the way around this pie. See? Like I said, it might look a mess at first, but watch out when Shelly get in this kitchen. She gives you beautiful. She gives you beautiful. Yes, honey. Yeah, just like that. So I keep turning it so you guys can see what I'm doing. And I'm just putting my thumb and my index finger, like I'm pinching it and getting it in there. This is a Shelly hack. A Shelly hack, baby. You can, use a fork if you don't want to do this. Just take a fork. It works too. Do whatever you need to do. my sons, and I'm saying sons, all of them, and I have 4 sons, and their friends love, love this apple pie, guys. I love my apple pie. So today, that is what I'm making for you guys, to share this recipe with you all, hoping that you like my pie and want to try it out. So what I'm going to do, I showed y'all enough of how it goes around. I know you don't want to sit here and be bored with me doing my ridges all the way around. So I'm gonna come back when we are about to egg the top and cinnamon and sugar it and everything. I'll be right back. Alright, so I am back, and what I'm going to do now is take my eggs, 1 beaten egg, and we're just gonna brush all across my pie crust. Just get it in there. Brush it all on here and get it. This gives it a nice coat on it, and it turns it that nice brown color that we look for on our apple pie. Now, you don't have to use this. You can just take butter and it'll give it a shine, but this right here, I think, is best for an apple pie to give it that brown look I'm looking for. And you can, like I said, you can take some butter, put it all over there, but I think the pie crust has enough butter in it as it is. I guess you could say nothing like butter, so I always use that. So it's about enough. I'm going to take my cinnamon and sugar, just sprinkle it all over this pie, just like this. It's not going to burn the pie. It just gives it an extra flavor. I'm going to take my knife. I'm going to put some slits over here, just like that, right in the middle of this beautiful pie. This allows the pie to breathe and release the steam so that the pie crust doesn't bust open. Alright, so I'm going to get this into my 350 oven for about 1 hour and 25 minutes. And then I'll be back once this pie rests and cool off and cut through it so that you see how amazing this pie is. I'll be back. Okay, so I am back, and now I'm going to cut into this fabulous, beautiful pie. Did you guys see how beautiful this pie is? Oh my goodness. The crust is flaky. Look at that. Beautiful flaky crust. Goodness. Whew. Cut down here. I need to get a spatula. That's what's going on. I need to get a spatula. Get a spatula on this pie. And cut down into here. Look at that. Oh my. I'm always messing up the pie on the first cut. It's alright. It is alright. Got whipped cream on the side. Just like so. your salt. Look at that. Beautiful apple pie. Let me taste it. You can taste it. The cinnamon, nutmeg, it's good. The pie crust is so flaky. Alright guys, as always, like, share, and subscribe. And have a wonderful day.